Did you know that your perception of the entire world around you, your perception of the world you live in, depends more heavily on your subconscious mind's interpretation of it than it does on what is perceiving what is actually right in front of you? That is why two people can look at the exact same thing and in a real way perceive it totally different from each other, because they are not seeing what is right in front of them, but rather how their subconscious mind has interpreted what is right in front of them. This is known as a subjective experience, and we all have the subjective experience of the objective world around us within the bounds of our subconscious mind. In this video at On the Mind, we will briefly explore the subjective lens of the subconscious mind, as well as its relation to who we are. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future videos where we will examine the subconscious mind and all other aspects of the mind in more depth. The conscious mind versus the subconscious mind. I am sure you have heard of Sigmund Freud's theory that is commonly referred to as the iceberg theory, which he used to describe the three different levels of the mind. Briefly, he described the conscious mind as the tip of the iceberg, the smaller part of the iceberg that sticks out of the water and which we can entirely observe. He described this part of our mind as consisting of all mental processes of which we are aware. The other two segments of the mind, what he coined the preconscious and the unconscious, compose what we refer to today as the subconscious mind. It is the other 90% of the iceberg that is submerged beneath the surface of the water and goes unnoticed upon first glance. Although it is this part of the iceberg we cannot see, it's the part that makes up most of the iceberg. This theory remains popular today, not only because it was Freud's, but because of its accuracy as an analogy used for understanding the different parts of the mind. From when you were born until the age of about 7 years old, your subconscious mind is being programmed to live in this world based on and influenced by factors such as the people you are around or the environment you are in. This is the deeper, all-knowing part of our mind that stores memories from experiences that will be referenced by our conscious mind for the rest of our lives. It serves the same purpose as Google's database for Google's search engine. Just as Google's database stores all the information that will be referenced by the search bar to return the most appropriate results, our subconscious mind stores information that will be referenced by the conscious mind to trigger our most appropriate response to any given situation or experience. When you become consciously aware of something, it runs through your subconscious mind to sort of see how you feel about it. The result of that is your subjective experience. Your perception of what you experience is not what you consciously experience, but what you experience after the conscious experience is processed by your subconscious mind. So you can see how significant of a role it plays in our day-to-day lives. It influences every thought we think. The subconscious mind and the ego. The issue with the subconscious mind is we often mistakenly identify with it as who we are. But although the subconscious mind plays a massive role in our lives and heavily influences our perception of the world, it is not who we are. In large, the subconscious mind makes up the components of what we call our ego. Our ego is what we identify with to make us feel individually different from one another. But that is not our true identity. An understanding of the subconscious mind is often the best way to come to a better understanding of who you are, though, because it perfectly displays to us who we are not. If we can gain a wholly objective perspective of our ego, we simultaneously realize this fact, because if you can point a finger at your ego, then who is pointing the finger? In other words, if you can clearly and objectively examine the entirety of your subconscious mind, how is it possible that it makes up who you are? If it were who you were, you would not be able to view it from a different lens. When you are objectively examining your subconscious mind, you have exited the subjective seat of the ego, and you are doing so from the subjective seat of your true self. Realizing that the part of you that makes you how you are is not who you are is what gives you control over who you want to become. Once you stop identifying with this subconscious part of the mind, you have liberated yourself from the control it has over your life.